Here's a junky beat up 3733, and this is as mangled as one of these can get before it's just totally broken. It's got an interesting indicator there. I've never seen that before. Okay, I take that back. This other one I'm looking at has it too. I just never noticed that. Anyways, this one's going to get parted out because the only reason I bought this is because it has a good handle and a good switch, and we're going to use those components for the restoration of the vintage 3733, or quote vintage, the one with the full-size motor. We got one good foot here, so keep that, and we got a switch, we got a handle. So let's get this thing opened up here. Now, if this blade cleans up, I'm going to use the blade in another 3733, one that I have right here. This one was featured in the previous video, and the blade is... Wait a minute, was this the one? Yeah, this is the one with the deteriorating blade. The blade is like sun-beaten or whatever, and it's falling apart. But the rest of the fan is still good, so assuming this blade works okay and it cleans up, which I think it will, I may take this blade and put it in that other fan. Okay. Oh yeah, that'll clean up fine. Let's see if this stupid blade comes off. Nope, it doesn't want to come off again. Alright. So... okay. The way I usually get these off is, if they don't want to come, I'll put them on the floor. And I just try really hard to pry it up. There we go. Just need the extra leverage. So we'll clean this blade, which looks to be in good condition aside from a chip there, which may make some weird noises, but other than this, not that these fans are known for being quiet anyways, but yeah, this blade seems to be much better than the other one. So we'll keep that blade. I'll clean this up. Put it over here. And let's get the handle out. These handles are a little bit tricky to remove sometimes. There we go. Handle and switch. Now what I'm going to do, just so that we don't render this totally worthless, because I don't like to waste anything, what I'm going to do is I'll just wire this straight to high because I don't have a replacement switch. I'll just wire this straight to the high winding, and I'll put that other crummy blade that's falling apart in here, and you know, this will just be a fan that I can use if I'm doing a project that makes dust or something like that, you know, whatever. This switch actually is very different than, I mean, the connection to the frame is the same, so it'll work, but this is a very different style than the switch that they used to use. Now I don't quite, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I see how this works now. So the way we get these wires out, I have a paper clip somewhere here. Put the paper clip in, and it should release the wire. It's not. I wonder if Lasko used some crazy switch that can't be removed. Oh, I wouldn't put it past them. They do some nutty things with these box fans. It's not working. Let me try it. Something a little bit sturdier. Are we for real with this one? The nut jobs over at Lasko did something crazy to this switch. Alright, well, you know what? That's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but I'll work around it. Play games, Lasko? We'll play games still. And I'll just wire it up like this. I'll just strip the leads and wire it that way. Perfectly fine. Doesn't make a difference in the world to me. Planned obsolescence in these fans is out of control. You can't even use the parts. Okay, now I don't know which one of these wires is high. I don't even think this is labeled. It's labeled. Actually, it is labeled. Labeled 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to guess 3 is high. So that means this one is going to be high. Was that even in the frame? That's what it looks like. So I'm going to strip this one out. And we need this. Split this up here. It's a pretty well insulated wire, this lead coming in here. And one of the things I like to do when I strip these wires that are stranded is I kind of leave a part of it on there, and then I kind of twist it a little bit just to make all the strands stay together as I pull it off, and then you get a nice neat product here versus the strands just being all over the place. Wow, these leads are actually solid copper. It's a little surprising. Okay, so now I'm going to take some wire nuts here and we're going to connect. Let's see here. So the hot side of this cord is the solid side. So I'm going to take the solid lead. Actually, in this case, it doesn't really matter because there's no switch. If you're wiring a switch, you want to wire it such that the switch comes before the motor. So when you turn the switch off, there's no power in the motor. So you want to wire the switch on the hot side of the cord, which in this case would be this side. But anyway, so I'll do hot to winding. And then we'll do neutral to neutral. Dang on it, that one's spoiled. That one's spoiled too. Okay. And then these, I'll cap them, but it really doesn't matter because there's no power going to them. You know, I don't even want to waste the caps on it. I'm just going to leave it like that. And go ahead, electrical safety police in the comments box, have at it. Alright, so now I gotta get the other fan out. Actually, you know what, I'll just test it with this blade so we can see if it works or not. That's low. So the notes on the switch, get off of there, you're not aligning with the notes on the dial. On the switch, 3 is going to be low and 1 is going to be high. Go figure. Well, that's not a big deal. All we got to do is pull this off. And instead of this wire, which of course now it's all wrapped around there and everything. So this wire, we're just going to do this wire. That's too long. And these leads, I don't want to cut them in case I ever do get another switch for this. I'm going to kind of leave them like this. I don't want it to get into the path of the blade ever. Do that, that'll work. Just leave it like this. You know, and I should do a hot glue everything up on the top, maybe. Although, actually, that's probably going to be okay like that. Alright, let's see what happens now. This should be high. Yep, that's high. Alright. That's that. I'll go clean off this blade. Okay, the blade is cleaned off. This was definitely one of those fans that somebody bought to use for, you know, one renovation project or something like that, and then just donated it to the thrift store. Anyways, I'm not going to clean anything else inside of here. The next day we have a nice warm day out. I will blow the motor out with compressed air before I use it for anything. But I'm otherwise not going to waste time cleaning this thing up. So now the next thing I want to do is get that other one with the junky blade. And we're going to put the junky blade onto that fan. And we'll put the good blade into this fan because for whatever reason I thought this was worth my time to clean it up and use it. So let's get this one opened up. Get the feet off there before it does get broken. If I recall correctly, the blade on this one does not like to come off. Now, I put some oil on it when I put it back on in hopes that would make the situation a little better. But it looks like it's still going to give me some grief. Go. Now this blade, you can see this is really bad. It's all deteriorating. It's really like just deteriorates. So whatever. This motor is a Glory motor. The other one is a Supreme motor. I don't know if there's any difference between the two of them. They both have like the huddled windings or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there's still oil residue on the shaft. I don't know why this is so difficult to get off. Oh, that's kind of nice. It's got the hole there, and that's where the notch is. Interesting. When was that one made? This junky one is dated 2010 to 11. Oh, it's 8 or 9 years old. This one was dated 2009, 10. So actually these are about the same age. Alright. They have the same guards too. It's a little wet still, whatever. This blade goes faster than this one did. Noticeably. It was like that on the other fan too. Well, anyways, that works. And that's on there good. And this is not deteriorating, so this should be, I trust this one a lot more for regular use. So let's screw this back together. And then this one will be put back upstairs. Oh man, my small brush just broke. I got to glue this again now. Alright, so now we have one complete, actually I gotta put the feet back on here. I have one complete cheap box fan with a blade that's not deteriorating, and I have one other cheap box fan that I got a good handle from, a good switch from, and those will get donated to the 3733 at the full-size motor. A switch, which is kind of extraneous, and one foot, which will also be donated to that of the 3733. And the fan itself is just kind of, it doesn't really stand up straight anymore, but this will be used for, you know, a dirty project, or sometimes I'll use a fan outside of the patio to keep the bugs away. I'll use this one for that. I want to run these two side by side and see if we can see, or rather hear, a difference in the blades and the way they perform. So I do believe there is a difference. So this one just runs on high now. Okay, so there's that. And then this one also just run on high, just for comparison consistencies. This one to me has a little bit of a higher frequency sound, and I don't think it moves quite as much air, this blade. So maybe this blade's a little bit cheaper, I don't know. Anyways, now I think this fan is a little bit more reliable, you know, having this blade on it than the other one was. It doesn't shake as much either. Yeah, that's pretty balanced. Alright, so that's good. Neither fan went to waste, and now I got parts for the restoration project.